Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutchy Gaming and the third episode of the SSF Tornado Shot playthrough. What I thought I'd do this time is do the episode in a little bit of a different format. Reason being is that by the time I've got to the end of all my playtime and it's time to record the video, I've forgotten half the stuff I've done. I've also not really got a transition from one pub to the next. So what I thought I'd do this time is kind of record a video after I've done a little bit of gameplay, and then kind of go through what I want to do with the episode, and then there'll be a bit of footage showing progress, and then at the end we'll sum out exactly where the character is. So between last video and this, I haven't done much other than completed Uber Lab, which is actually absolutely fine. I was a bit worried about it, like on a 5-link tornado shot, but it was absolutely fine. We got through that, and then we've got a fair bit of Atlas progression done, but it's just really been clearing up the white maps and lower tier yellow maps that hadn't completed. So if we go to maps and have a look, I've done all of the bonus objectives on the white maps. I've done all tier 6 and all tier 7. And then we start to get into 8s, 9s and 10s. I haven't done any tier 10s yet. Tier 9 is the most I've completed. And in terms of gear, I've equipped the amulet and boots from the last video because I've managed to get the outs to craft life on them. And the only other thing is I have put a cheap anoint on my amulet, which is Fury Bolts, because it's 20% increased damage and 20% prod speed. But because we have this, it's also an extra 20% damage from the projectile speed. And that's it. Not done loads since the last video. As I say, I want to kind of go through what my next steps are, then show the footage, then we'll go to like an outro and kind of what I want to do on the next episode. So in terms of Atlas Tree, I've got all of the harvest nodes now, I believe. Yeah. So I was thinking of going straight to Expedition, but actually, I think I might go on to that a little bit later because Expedition's way better than red maps. So I think what I'm going to do is take the shrine node so I can get an extra buff and increase effect of the shrines. Well, actually get loads of extra increase here. So I'll take these shrine nodes next. Then I'm probably going to take some more map nodes. So probably these ones here. And then I'm actually going to go and take the altar nodes ready for sort of altar farming in red maps. And then I'll take the expedition nodes. In terms of what I want to do in terms of gear progress, my gear is pretty good for yellow tier maps and early tier reds. I don't think I'm going to have any problems. Bosses are going down really quick. Essence monsters aren't really causing me a problem. When I'm using sentinels, I am getting into a bit of difficulty if the wrong mods spawn with the wrong type of enemies, or something like Syndicate happens to appear on my map when I'm got a Sentinel active. I know you can deactivate them, but like I don't like to do that because I feel like I'm leaving juice behind in the maps. So really, the two things I want to do to improve the build is a better bow. So any sort of deafening essences, any LE damage on some I'm rolling them on a spine bow that I've got to try and get better than this. And then it's going to be trying to craft my ailment avoidance and spell suppression boots and my chest piece. I've still not found Rog anywhere. I've had a few expeditions, but they've all been Tusian and Gwenin. So this item is obviously what I'm working on as well. If I can get this item and get it at least 5 linked so I can use it, and then get my boots, then I'm going to be ailment immune and spell suppress capped, and that's going to help me massively when I push into sort of mid-tier red maps. So as I said, for boots, I'm looking to try and get as many essences of loathing as possible. They need to be deafening. And then I'll just roll them on whatever my highest item level pair of boots are. 70, I'm sure, is not the case now, but it was at the time I started rolling them. And that's it, really. It's just grinding maps again. It's all fairly dull in SSF. So my goal is really to grind maps and get completion, I would say, by the end of the episode. So at the moment we're 65. I would want to be 80 at the end of the episode. I would like to have some of maybe opened up the sub bosses would be nice. And get the next Maven boss fight done. So I've done 2, for which footage was shown in the background for the second one. I would like to get the third one done as well. That would then be kind of a nice like montage of footage that I can show in the episode. So wish me luck. I'll roll whatever footage is about to happen, and then I'll see you at the end of the episode. So I've made my first big doo-doo. As you see here, I've gone down to this level here, monster level Sentinel, and I've found some ruined chambers, which are really good for getting maps because I've got like 1 or 2 red maps. I'm realistically only up to like tier 9 maps. Now, these are going to be a little tough because obviously loads of Arch Nemesis. It's the same as tier 11 maps. And I cocked up. as I'll roll the footage as I talk over it, I have just recently added Hydrosphere to the build, which is very close to my Sentinel button. So as you can see in Delve, I went to the nearest load of chests, meant to press Hydrosphere and press Sentinel, and empowered every single minion within that outpost, and that caused massive problems. I don't know how I survived. It was total luck. The main issue with this is I didn't go in with any flares. I have not got any darkness resistance or any light radius because I haven't done any delve. I think I've got whatever you get from the first mission, maybe one more node. So I was totally unprepared because the idea was to nip in and out. I'd have enough DPS to get the monsters down, but empowering them was just ridiculous. So I learnt my lesson. Don't do it again. I thought I would just show this section here, just to show what sort of trouble you can get yourself into if you take the wrong nodes and use a Sentinel. So we'll jump back in to the footage and I'll see you guys later. So I think it makes sense to end the episode here because I've got both the sub bosses down. I'm into sort of tier 12 maps, comfortably clearing them, but my map sustain is looking not great. So I've respec'd these harvest nodes down here. They are good because they give you obviously extra chance of getting Sacred Grove, but I really need to pick up some more map nodes, so I still need to get one more to get more sustain. I've rejigged this bit of the tree, and with a few more points I've gone here to get more Kirat missions, because my maps are looking pretty bad. So if you go into my map supply, it's looking pretty bad. I can comfortably clear sort of tier 12, so I want to be pushing into tier 13 and T14. I think I could probably 6 portal the 2 bosses to get the Void Stones, but obviously I need to get there first. So changing tact now from just farming essences and harvest to actually going on a map sustain mission to try and get more Atlas completion and try and get the 2 big bosses down. Once I get those down, then that gives me obviously much more chance to drop higher maps with the Void Stones. It just means I can then concentrate more on farming once I've got that little bit done. In terms of gear throughout the session, I've been spamming LE damage, deafening essences on bows until I got a decent one. This one I got pretty lucky with. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but for SSF, it's quite good. It's tier 3 lightning, essence fire, fire additional arrow, good crit chance, and then crafted attack speed with an exalt. It did roll without the socket of gems, and I decided to risk an exalt slam because there's a good chance it could put cold damage on there. It didn't. It was +1 to level of socket of gems, which is still not the worst. So at the moment, I've got my ballista living in here and my chest piece living. My main attack living in the chest piece. We've upgraded the gloves just to a normal pair of gloves rather than the essence of horror gloves, just because I found a 5-link crafting harvest. I thought I might as well slot those in the bow for the +1 gems, and then it allows me freely to craft glove upgrades when I can. This helmet drop in Syndicate. It's not amazing, but it's got a bit of fizz taking us far, a little bit of suppression. So it does meet for now. And then nothing else has changed. I'm still trying to get some ring upgrades. The quiver I think I have changed, but again, it's similar thing. It's just DPS basically. I'm not looking for life and resistances on that. And that's where we are at the moment. DPS is feeling fine for like bosses. Clear's still a little bit not amazing when there's like Sentinel monsters and the map's juiced up. It doesn't feel brilliant, but that will get better and better as you get more damage into the build. It's now at level 90. In terms of passive tree, it's kind of a very bog standard bow passive tree. There's nothing special really. And to point out, we've not got any jewels or cluster jewels yet. Gone through the Atlas tree, as I say, it's all expedition, harvest, essences, shrines. And then now we're just going to start taking some map nodes. So the last thing I can do before I close out the session is hopefully I've had enough current. Oh, that's harsh. I'm 1 grand artifact away from doing my chest. So that's going to have to wait until the next episode because I don't think I have any currency with Danik. I do not. Yeah, bit unlucky there. 1 currency short from Rog to do my chest. So we'll do that in the next episode. So next episode is probably going to follow a similar format. I'll open it up kind of live. Then I'll do some footage. And then I'll do closing commentary like a couple of days later and just do bits along the way so it's easy to keep track of what I'm doing. Not a map showcase this time because there's been lots of footage rolling in the background. So what I'll probably do next episode is going to be grinding to get those maps up and get the pinnacle bosses down. So if we do a showcase, I'll give you all a laugh by doing a 6 pinnacle boss on what's probably going to be fairly ZTPS, but I'm pretty sure in 6 portals I'll be able to do it. That's it for this episode. Thanks a lot for tuning in and see you in the next one.